Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. Another quick video here. So as you can see, I changed the channel name to B75 Truth. So I wanted to keep this channel separate with the whole trucking or whatever. So anyway, so about this video, around if you have seen already, I've already put a couple of videos about flat earth and so on and so forth. So I was introduced to this around 2016 2017 when my brother-in-law told me about it. I opened up my mind, looked into flat earth theory deeply, and after seeing all the so-called evidence and seeing all the deception within the flat earth community and the lies, the math wouldn't add up, I came to the conclusion that the earth is spherical. So around 2017, April of 2017, I actually went to Cuba. And on my way back, I was at the airport in Holguin, Cuba, to come back to Miami. And what caught my attention was this young gentleman. I believe it was a cap or a jacket that said Alaska. So, backtracking a little bit, my brother-in-law, you know, I told him about, oh, what about Antarctica? Because, you know, if the Earth is spherical and it's rotating, right? When you're in the North Pole during the summer, okay, think about it. You turn, you turn one way, so the sun would turn the opposite way. So it would turn northeast, southwest, theoretically, right? And in Antarctica, in the South Pole, during the Southern Hemisphere summer, it would actually be the other way. I mean, think about it. If you're turning this way, it would turn, you'll see the sun going around you north, west, southeast. So it'd be the opposite way. So that would basically prove a spherical earth. But then, you know, he told me or whatever that nobody has ever been to Antarctica, that only the NASA elitists have gone, and they keep the secret of the truth that Antarctica is a wall all the way around a flat disk Earth to hold all the water. None of that holds water, pun intended. But I'm like, okay, so there's people that have gone to expeditions. They've gone to expeditions. They've gone to vacations in Antarctica. But he says that it's all a lie. They're all in on the conspiracy. So, going back to when I was in Cuba, what caught my attention was that the kid had a cap that said Alaska. So, I went up to him and I asked him, "Oh, so you're from Alaska?" He's like, "No, I'm from Virginia, but I've been working in Alaska for X amount of years." So then I asked him, "Oh, okay, so you experience," and then I told him about the whole flat Earth thing or whatever. Then I was like, okay, so you experience the 24-hour days where the sun goes around, all the way around. He's like, yeah. And I'm also here with my two other friends that they also work with me in Alaska. So then I was like, okay, cool. But one of them told me, yeah, but I've even been to Antarctica, and I have spent, you know, months down there working. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I asked him, okay, so can I videotape and kind of like interview you and ask you a couple of questions just to kind of like disprove flat earth and prove globe earth? And he's like, yeah, sure. So the following is a video that transpired after that. So hope you all enjoy it. If you got any comments, go ahead and comment below. Yay or nay, if you're for or against, you know, globe earth or whatever. You know, share it to those flat earthers out there. So anyway, with that said, enjoy the video and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye now. Hi guys, I'm here in Cuba, in Holguin, Cuba, getting ready to go to Miami. Here I have Chris, here I have Ben, and no, Will and Ben, okay? We got Will here. He's from Virginia, but in Alaska, working in Alaska. Ben, what are you doing?
Working in Alaska too.
You're working in...
Originally from Arizona.
Originally from Arizona. And Chris?
Originally from Hawaii. I work in Alaska. I've done work in Antarctica.
Right. So you've actually been to Antarctica, right? What do you do over there?
I was a cook at the research station.
At the research station, okay. Right in Antarctica, right? South Pole, full blown. You see that those 24-hour days that you actually see the sun go like a circle around you, like
It's funny, in the
north, south, east, west?
Yeah, the sun in the northern hemisphere goes like clockwise, but in the southern hemisphere it makes the opposite direction.
Wow.
It doesn't set, but you can watch the sun like move around you.
Uh-huh. Yeah, for like a couple of days. And it starts to dip in the horizon maybe, come back out. Right. Yeah, I've seen videos. That's pretty cool. So what do you say about those people that say the earth is flat?
Oh, there's no way it can be flat. No way.
No way, right? I mean, and is there like some kind of prohibition from going into Antarctica?
No.
Like people say?
No, you can work at your country's research station.
Uh-huh.
So you can go down there, but you can only go for science purposes.
Okay.
You can only go and work for your country. You can't work for another country.
Oh, you work for your country. Oh, okay. So they only let scientists go in, right?
Scientists and support staff.
Like yourself?
Yeah, people to cook and clean and like maintain roads, stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because, all these, we call them flat earthers. They say that they only let NASA people go in and they can't say the truth that the earth is flat, because if not, they'll go after you and they'll go after your family and shit like that. Okay.
Like for the U.S., the research station is so big. Like if you can clean a toilet and you can get a background check, you're good. They'll send you down there.
Yeah, right. Oh, and I'm pretty sure they pay pretty good, because nobody will want to go down there to the cold. Man.
I don't know.
You don't need to disclose that.
Well, there's some good paying jobs and some bad paying jobs.
Oh, okay. All right. So cool. I think that's all I need. Now I'll go tell my friend Lewis over there, that I actually met somebody who's been to Antarctica who knows how many times. And all right, sure will. All right, so here we have Chris again. We're gonna talk about the international treaty. So you said that basically is more environmental than anything else.
Yeah, it's to preserve the continent as it is right now. Mm-hmm. So you cannot take any resources from it. You cannot affect the wildlife in any way, unless you're doing research. I think you can tag seals and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But as far as like the common person, you cannot get close enough to an animal to where it impacts its behavior. One of the examples is there's these birds called skuas, and they like to scavenge. So when you're on the station and you're walking around, you have food. If they see it, they'll come peck at you. But the big rule is that you can't swat them away. Even if they're even if they're attacking you, you gotta run.
Oh yeah, holy shit. Oh man. So that's why they don't really let normal people live there. Yeah, number one. And number two, you were telling me that it's really hard on the human body.
It's really hard on your body. It's the diet that you eat, because you can't get fresh vegetables, can't get really fresh fruits, and then it's the climate is just really dry, and it's they tell you when you get down there to just drink as much water as you can, and it's never enough. You're always thirsty. You're always your body's just always working harder.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. So the most they let you live up there, you said, is 14 months?
14 months. Yeah.
Like in a row?
Yeah.
Then you have to take how long of a break before you can go back in?
I think it's 2 months.
2 months?
2 months, and then you can come back again.
And you said people have been doing that for 30 years. Some people for 30 years have been doing that?
Yeah, some people, they just like the place. big myrtle station. It's a close knit group of people. So they just keep, that's kind of their life.
So pretty much, almost everybody knows everybody pretty much.
Yeah. Every season there's like, I only did one season. So every summer there's always a group of people who are only there for like maybe for like 5 months. Like I was. And then so you get a new batch of people all the time.
And any one time, how many workers or people are up in the research station and stuff?
It fluctuates in wintertime and summertime. The summertime is when they do most of their research. And in the wintertime, they kind of they bring the population down, kind of like a skeleton crew, just to run the place. So winter is like maybe 150 people. Summer you have about 800. And there's a time every January where they bring in supply vessels. And they unload a ship and they reload another ship with trash. Because you cannot leave trash anything. Everything's got to be shipped off and sent to California.
Right.
So they bring in some other people. It gets up to maybe 1,100.
Oh, okay. At any one time. Okay.
Yeah, that's part of the treaty too. You can't leave any trash there. You can't pour liquids on the ground. So if you have a cup of water, you can't pour that onto the ground at all.
Really?
Yeah. You can't pee outside.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow. It's pretty extensive. All the requirements and stuff.
They're pretty strict.
Wow.
So they'll let you go and hike maybe like 5 or 10 miles. They have established trail system there. But one of the things is if you go too far, you have to bring a pee bottle with you.
Really?
Yeah, they'll assign you a bottle that you need to pee in, and you have to bring it back with you.
What, women too?
Women too.
No shit. So they have to in front of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hide best you can, but yeah, you can't leave anything on the ground. If you spill something on the ground, it's usually oil. It's usually like oil leaking from a truck or something. But you have to call a spill response team, and they'll have someone. I've seen it before. They'll have someone out there with like a shovel and another guy with a bag. For like, say you have a truck and it's leaking oil and you drive for like a mile. They'll be out there for a mile, like scooping up snow, putting it into a bag.
Really?
Yeah, and then later on, like in January, getting it shipped off to California.
No shit. Wow. So that brings up you told me about ozone, okay? Because especially the Republicans, they say that that the environmentalists saying that there's global warming and all that stuff, that it's a hoax, that it's a lie.
I think the most recent school of thought is that they're trying to figure out if it's man-made or not. That's the big thing.
Whether it's a cycle or whether it's man-made.
Yeah. But there's definitely depletion in the ozone. In like Antarctica, a lot of New Zealand, same thing. They got their skin cancer rates skyrocketing because they're part of that ozone depletion. So that's one of the guys I was talking to when I was down there who was doing research, where they were shooting lasers into space and kind of they're trying to monitor how much like nitrogen and stuff is up there still.
Right. Okay. Wow. All right, cool. So rolling again. So anyway, I don't know if I put it in the first video, but you said that it's cool how in the Antarctic, like the sun goes around in a ring one way, and now that you're in Alaska, you're in Alaska now, right? Yeah. And now that you're in Alaska, you see it go around the sky the opposite way.
The first summer that I did, like 24 hours of light, was in Alaska, and I would wake up at like I was doing a breakfast trip. I wake up at like 2 in the morning, and I see the sun like off in the distance, and then as you walk outside to get supplies and stuff, you see it going clockwise around you. So it's moving east, or I guess it's to the right. And it goes up a little bit, it comes down a little bit, but it never fully dips below.
Below the horizon.
Yeah. In Alaska, it was sometimes because we're in a mountain range, so sometimes it would hide behind mountains.
Right.
But it would never like dip below where the horizon was. And then in Antarctica, the same thing with the opposite direction. It moved like counterclockwise, go to the left. And then Alaska was, Antarctica was completely flat.
Yeah.
So that one, there's no mountains for it to hide behind. You could always see.
Yeah, yeah. And obviously the ground is not really ice. Obviously the ground is earth. You know, there might be a cap of ice on top or whatever, but it's actually earth, like dirt.
It's mostly rocky. There's no plants at all. But when I first got there was ice on everything, and I thought that's what it was.
Uh-huh.
And then as the summertime came, it got up to about maybe 35, maybe 40 degrees. And like, things started to melt. There were big like streams where there weren't streams before.
Okay.
And then by the time I left, there was like the station itself had no snow. It was all just rocks, just dirt and rocks.
Okay. Okay. All right. I think that's enough. I don't want to, do too much here with videos and stuff. And I want to respect your privacy and stuff. But I really appreciate it, Chris. For that information, I think that's enough. If that's not enough to convince people out there that the Earth is not flat, that it's a sphere, then they're all suffering from cognitive dissonance, the same thing that they accuse us of suffering from. But all right, thanks a lot, Chris, and